Hello, myself Sunil Ramkrishna. Here basically we are discussing the topic that is investment of user controls of the software industry. So here one person told that, so let's do the debate basically. If basically we can do the debate or forum basically we can say in computer language, we might able to find some solution. So the debate started like this. Microsoft told that basically, Sunil, basically when we are basically launching the .NET basically, that time basically we are getting everything basically from outside, like if conditions are there, they are basically coming from thousand cities, means power supply basically. If power supply is not getting passed, that if will not work basically. The text box is coming from thousand cities. If thousand cities not giving power supply, then text box will not work. So that basically I'm telling. Then basically the each and every variables basically which you are declaring, that variables basically. So these all basically are coming from the outsider. Here Microsoft basically told that what Microsoft is doing. So Microsoft told that basically we are getting data from outside, like Unix is there. Unix basically do the batch process. From batch process basically the set of datas are coming. Set of datas basically are getting from the some datas are coming from the Excel file. Some basically are coming from the Notepad. That basically deriving to the Microsoft.NET platform, and that .NET platform basically are displaying the data in form of text box in the combo box, like this basically the data are getting filled, and you can see the display part of the .NET. So here one person basically asked the question, in Excel file basically how the data are coming, in Notepad basically how the data are coming. So few people do that, basically few people enters the data in Excel file, Notepad. Few people told that basically when you do the telephonic calling, that is basically called as a call center or automatic calling basically happens. From that basically the data are derived. So one person basically asked the question. This is actually debate between the American group and Indian government, the satellite group, the space center group, the presidents, American presidents, Indian prime minister, the experts of India, because they are telling that basically let's try to solve out the problem basically, solution basically, because error basically big error is already done. In this basically everybody is telling that basically we will fire Sunil or Nair basically, we will fire Sunil, and lots of company basically has blacklisted my resume also basically. That if this resume basically comes, then basically don't give the reply also basically to that mail basically. So that basically is different thing basically, but you have to find out the solution basically by blocking this resume, by blocking number, by blocking email ID, by blocking LinkedIn ID. The things are not going to work basically, because it might possible that space center might end the world only basically, but they will not end so soon basically. Why? Because lots of tasks basically are there basically pending. But then also basically why you have to take the risk basically. That basically is the question basically. But it might possible that basically this type of situation has came. That means few countries will 100% end. That is 100% sure. So that basically, if we basically we can save little bit more country basically. For that basically debate is ongoing. So one person told that through telephonic also basically the data are getting processed. So telephonic means from where basically data are coming? From environment only basically it's coming. So there are set of roadmaps basically created in the environment. That roadmap basically connected to what basically? So one person told that it's connected to text box, it's connected to combo box. So there also, if the telecom industry basically, who basically came from telephone industry to software industry, if they might have thought this text box is created from the thousand cities, because data are coming na basically. If they also might have told this to the software industry, the data basically are also coming from somewhere here basically, but source basically we are not able to track. If they might have thought little bit this na, about this topic, then also basically this might have dragged. Because in software industry, why basically one of the human resource industry told that basically he can think up to this level only, that he want telecom industry people. But why required up to the detail level that telecom industry was supposed to think? The human resource group basically has cleared themselves. Their role basically are done. They placed telecom industry basically people. But telecom industry was supposed to think this. So human resource basically the group who created the entire IT industry, they have done their task basically. They have done their task, at least basically 90% they have done. But they were supposed to also think basically little bit difficult. They have to tell telecom industry that basically you have came in this IT industry. Reason is this. There are some doubts that you have to clear from the softwares basically, the projects basically which they are doing. So actually the softwares basically they are doing, that was not supposed to be the word. The word should be something else basically. Whatever words basically you can add here. So here one of the person told that telecom industry was also supposed to think. The BTech group basically were supposed to think because they are basically the electronic engineers basically. They were supposed to think basically what is the base of the data which is coming. That was this text box only. The combo box only basically. The source was this only. Computer basically industry created the one place basically so that the data which is coming it can be placed in the display format, that is basically the text box. That was basically in the form of text box. So one of the person told that the satellite group also basically sometime given the hint. Do you know basically the network problem basically comes from that also basically if some person basically might have thought this network issue basically something, why basically the network issue is coming, somebody is trying to give the information that some problem is there basically, check out this problem basically. It might be very far basically in universe basically, he might have told this basically because he might have tracked this. But there also basically nobody basically tried to sort out, everybody is basically was enjoying the life basically. If you are basically getting 100 crore dollar, so that is not for enjoying the life basically. There basically some amount was supposed to be, but where basically one person told that they have invested also basically 100 crore basically they got, they have invested also na, but they have invested in proper way basically. The telecom industry basically placed in IT industry. Infosys basically has taken telecom industry basically people, but they have never thought basically why basically they are taking the telecom industry basically. Why this network problem basically are coming? Somebody is telling basically that there is some problem basically in text box like there, the like this basically things basically are getting problem basically. There are some problem basically. There also basically we not thought, basically had not thought. There also basically we were supposed to think basically. Human resource basically told that basically we want telecom industry people. But why basically they require telecom industry? Because this was the roadmap basically. Data basically was coming from the telecom industry basically. It was placed basically. So this was also one of the source of data basically. I'm not telling that basically entire data is coming from the telecom industry. So this was also there basically. That also basically we can track, but there also basically we were not able to track. Some nature basically given the hint also that network error basically is coming. That also basically we were supposed to track. That is the Airtel group, the Geo group. They are basically taking from one user basically they are taking earning basically more than 1 lakh rupees, 2 lakh rupees basically. They also not thought here basically. Basically that is the thing basically. One government basically, government is giving money to this telecom industry ना. So government told that basically हम तो दे रहे हैं पैसा भाई, अच्छी तरह से भर भर के दे रहे हैं. We are giving money too much basically. But that money basically they have not used in the proper channel basically. So in next video basically part of this basically.